settlement.
These borrowers from the defunct EFC, a microfinance deposit-taking institution, have cried foul over the amounts they are compelled to pay back in interest on their loans, which they say are 3 times what they borrowed. Since January, EFC has been in receivership following its closure over undercapitalization and poor corporate governance. Provided the status quo prevails, Herbert Newton Lubega, one of the borrowers who secured a 73 million shilling loan to refurbish his school, is now required to pay back 195 million shillings. That's 122 million shillings more than what he borrowed.
And then by the time we came out of COVID, the loan that had reduced to 69 million had now risen to 142 million out of the blue.
However, for Kenny Amondi Onyango, he acquired a Toyota Wish car through a 24 million shillings loan. The vehicle was impounded by EFC and later disposed of. However, Onyango is still required to pay 24 million shillings to the Bank of Uganda.
I was not given a chance. They could not listen to me. I said it's okay. If you take off the loan on my head, it's fine. Me, I will sign. They said it's fine, okay, we will call you. I went. They had never called me. Up to this year is when, this last month, is when Bank of Uganda called, telling me they are demanding me 24 million.
What has manifested from the borrowers is that a 40% interest was paid to some of these loans. The COVID-19 imposed lockdowns crippled payment of the monthly installments. EFC restructured the loans following the disruption caused by COVID-19. The borrowers are uncertain about appending their signatures to the terms of the loan alteration.
Honestly speaking, we did not read the document. We did not read any agreement. We did not see anything, but we were just told to be signing.
In April 2020, Bank of Uganda issued guidelines to, among others, allow the financial institutions a maximum of 2 restructurings of their loans for a period of 12 months, starting April 1st that year. Bank of Uganda also authorized the financial institutions to allow postponement of the payment by borrowers affected by COVID-19. But the borrowers are concerned that EFC ignored the guidelines, which resulted in the payable sum shooting beyond the anticipated amount.
I'm not the one who brought COVID. I don't know why they are penalizing me for the period I was not working. His Excellency, the President of Uganda, cautioned them not to charge us interest during the period we were not working. Unfortunately, they did not take heed.
The borrowers have been expecting the Bank of Uganda to settle their queries about discrepancies in the figures, but this, they say, is not the case. Bank of Uganda, in a response to the queries emailed to them, confirmed that the borrowers have outstanding loans. The bank adds that any borrower of EFC Uganda Limited can obtain their loan statement by coming to the Bank of Uganda banking hall or applying to the Director of Financial Stability, Bank of Uganda. This will show their loan balance, whether the loan was paid off, and the status of their collateral. The bank says some loans were in arrears and non-performing as of 19 January 2024 when EFC Uganda Limited was closed. EFC Uganda Limited had already appointed debt collectors for these loans before its closure, and the process has continued. Financial and legal experts say the solution requires auditing of the individual loans.
Audit is very, very important. You cannot actually, if someone actually is claiming that my loan has been overstated, has been inflated, and the amounts have been hiked, for sure you can't just give it a full play. You have to give it some good attention. And the only attention actually we can pick from that is to have the evidence, and such evidence gets reviewed.
They add that the audit of the loans could also go a long way in guiding the bank as to whether its COVID-19 guidelines were disregarded by EFC.
It's something for Bank of Uganda to reconsider because, one, it's the regulator of these financial institutions, and secondly, this individual who ought to have gone to court to take this bank or financial institution to court is unable because of the limitation of the law.
Matovu agrees that there is a high possibility that the affected borrowers never got to read or understand the terms of the loan contracts to the detriment of the borrowers.
Also, on part of the bank, there are certain banks that do not give you room Because they know you want money, they just place the documents on table, they tell you, you sign here, sign here, sign here. By the time you realize, you have bounded yourself with the arrangement and you are unable to comply with. And that's why you see that most of the people have kept on running in courts you are meeting, among others. So the advice I give to these customers, I understand the desperation we may be in at that particular moment, but let us always think twice.
Biggest problem we have in the country, of having a knowledge gap between the borrower and the lender. So there is a big gap that really need to be closed.
Bank of Uganda, in an email, has guaranteed the safety of the collateral securities found in possession of EFC Uganda Limited at the time of closure. The central bank has also committed in an email to respond to requests by the clients for waivers on penalty on interest and late payment fees, which were charged to their loans, which were in arrears. Jackson Onyango, NTV.